Call to order. Good evening, everybody. The date is March 25th, 2026. The time is 7 o'clock p.m., and I'd like to call this public meeting of the Rochelle Park Township Committee to order. Open Public Meeting Act. Pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Act, notice of the March 25th meeting was published on the Township website on January 7th, in the Bergen Record and Herald News on January 11th, and in the Our Town on January 22nd. Copies of all notices are on file with the Township Clerk and have been made available to the public. Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Apici? Here. Committeewoman Judge Covello?
Here.
Committeeman Smith?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Chwinsky?
Here.
Mayor Miller?
Yeah, here. All right. Please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now, a moment of silence for our U.S. military. Thank you. You may be seated. All right. So, in celebration of Women's History Month, we're proud to recognize voices that remind us of the power of creativity, resilience, and storytelling. Today, we have the honor of welcoming a published author from right here in our community, Miss Anita Novo. Anita is the author of Where is Adeline, a compelling story that explores mystery, identity, and the search for truth. What makes her journey especially inspiring is that she published this recent book at 89 years young. Her pursuit of what she loves and her talents continues to be both enduring and inspiring. So please join me in celebrating a remarkable woman, an inspiring member of our Rochelle Park community. Let's give a big round of applause for author and Rochelle Park resident, Anita Novo. So at this time, I want to invite Anita's family and the Township Committee in front of the dais.
Gotta stand to the right.
Front and center, Anita.
Well, my nephew told me to the right.
Please join us. Make room.
These are my family.
Hey, family, how's it going?
My nephew, my niece, my
Nice
nephew.
to meet you.
My
Thanks so much for
my
being
nephew,
here.
my niece.
Nice to meet you. Thank you so much. All right. So, Anita, it is my honor and privilege to present to you this certificate of commendation from the Rochelle Park Township Committee in honor of your creativity, your inspiring contribution to this community. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Got it? I think it was like 50 words. Oh, one more. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ladies, go make some noise.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Teresa, stay up here because we have another honoree. So I want to invite Diane Verhassel and her family to join us in front of the dais. So our next honoree this evening is Diane Verhassel. And Diane is a true example of what community leadership and service looks like in Rochelle Park. She currently serves as president of the library board, chairperson of the welcoming committee, and chairperson of Troop 114, our local Boy Scout troop. In addition, Diane has volunteered with the Township's parade committee for the past 4 years and has dedicated an incredible 35 years to the Scouts. In December, Diane was honored with the Maplewood Mentor Award, which is presented to an individual who embodies strong character and demonstrates a lasting impact through mentorship and scouting. Her commitment to mentoring, community involvement, and service has made a meaningful difference in the lives of so many, especially our Scouts. So on behalf of the Township of Rochelle Park and the Township Committee, we're so proud to present this certificate of commendation to you, Diane, in recognition of your outstanding leadership, dedicated volunteer service, and the lasting impact you've made to our community. Thank you. Congratulations.
Ready, everybody? Cheese. Good.
One more.
Jill is back there. All right, we're good.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's hard work. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Okay. That's going to wrap up our presentations. If you came for those presentations, you are welcome to stay or go. Totally up to your choosing. So before we move on, also in recognition of Women's History Month, I do want to take a moment to say how fortunate I am to serve alongside such dedicated women in leadership right here in Rochelle Park. So that includes Committeewoman Teresa Judge Covello, Committeewoman Apiche, and so many others we work with every day at Town Hall. Our Township Administrator, Samantha Carpio. Township Clerk, Gina Kim. Deputy Clerk, Michaela Jenikin. Tax Collector, Kathy Cerisi. And all the dedicated staff and professionals who help keep our township going. I also want to recognize the many women in our community who generously give their time as volunteers. Their contributions play a vital role in making Rochelle Park the vibrant community we're proud to call home. So to all the women who lead, who serve and inspire, thank you so much. All righty. It's time for department presentations. So our next presentation, wants to go for Dave, is from the Department of Public Works Superintendent Dave Brown. Come on down, Dave. Whichever you prefer.
I couldn't tell you what color it is, but it's on. Yeah, it sounds good. All right, so My 2026 budget, looking at, for buildings and grounds, looking to increase most of the accounts by about 10%, is the request. So last year was 135,000, we're looking at 148,500, for buildings and grounds. Streets and roads, previous was 110. I'm looking for no increase at that point right now, as long as we hold true to that number. Vehicle maintenance is the only one that's really bumping up a little bit more, looking at a 15% increase, bringing it to 63,250. Salary and wages, total, looking at for 2026, 593,946. Again, I have down in that area of salary and wages with overtime. There's really no way for me to figure a number, but we know we have to have something in there. That's pretty much it. Pretty straightforward. I do have my 10-year capital vehicle replacement, something on my wish list, in the sense I've been providing to the committee for the past 5 years, 6 years, and it's just something that it's what the future looks like, something hopefully we can prepare going forward. So, anybody has any questions?
Thank you so much, Dave. Any questions for Dave Brown?
I think so.
Thank you so much for your budget presentation, Mr. Brown. We really appreciate it.
All right.
Coming up next, yes, our Rochelle Park Police Department with their budget presentation.
Perfect. Thank you, Mayor and committee, for the opportunity. First of all, happy birthday, Teresa. Happy birthday to our court administrator, and congratulations to those wonderful women. Diane, I've known you since I was 10 years old, so well-deserved honor. So again, much appreciated. As we know, behind every good man is a great woman. So I won't be as quick as Dave, but hopefully get this started. We'll go through these slides, and I think you'll understand why I'm going through this, so that everybody's on the same page as far as the police department's budget request. Yeah.
Man, you said he's wearing all black and he's in front of the house?
No, he's inside the house.
Okay, where in the house is he?
In the living room.
In the living room? All right, and you said he's fighting your dad?
Yes, I don't know.
You don't know? Is that a gun? Is that a gunshot? Hello?
So what you hear taking in the background is our police dispatcher taking the information as was being relayed to her from the 911 operator and giving it right out to the cars. We all know what that incident is. I won't play any more of that tape, obviously, not to taint the criminal investigation or any potential jury pool. Here's some recent press releases. This is what our team is dealing with, a lot different from when I started working under Bob Davidson from the 1990s. I wish it wasn't so. This town is definitely still very safe. These are isolated incidents. And as I go through the slides, you'll understand that. Again, some more recent press releases. Former President Joe Biden once said to the IACP at the Chiefs of Police Conference in Orlando, Florida, "Don't tell me what you value. Show me your budget and I will tell you what you value." Continue to say, elected officials pick their elections. Elected officials claim to make public safety a priority, and if that's a true statement, it should be reflected in the budget document. And again, unlike the DPW, our next largest department after the police department, they don't operate 24/7, 365. We have staffing on duty every day, every hour, every minute of the year. And so thus costs are obviously higher. Again, while we're the only ones out there answering call 365 every hour and minute, every minute of the day, our priority always is going to remain providing the highest, most professional level of service to our community, because you folks deserve that. Again, talk a little bit about what's happened, give you some ideas and increases. So as we ask for an increase in the budget, you'll understand, you'll see the differences of what I'm asking for versus the other increases is really nothing. So since 2019, we've seen an increase in calls of 42.57%, from 12,261 in 2019 to 17,480 last year, just under 2024 numbers. Again, we continue with the continued growth of the township. It's great, right? Development is good, but it's 160 new front doors right across the street. Obviously, the development is at the end of Terrace Avenue, Oak Street, And we're seeing on a day-to-day basis, more extended families living under one roof. And I don't mean multi-families, I mean extended families, right? It's moms, grandpas, aunts, uncles, people today are choosing to stay close and stay in the home. So there's been a 5.1% increase in the population since the 2010 census. I know something that Linda Boniface loves to talk about. This Boniface, because you were committeewoman in the census, right, drives us our costs. So we'll talk a little bit about the 33% increase in violent crime and weapons offenses. Obviously, we just listed 45 seconds on a 911 call, but I want everybody to understand that 33% increase in violent crime and weapons offenses is a direct result of proactive policing. I have officers that, since we've hired him in 2021 rather, he's gotten 12 guns, illegal guns off the street himself. We saw the article earlier, the 15 guns in the home here in North Shore Park for seized. So while it drives up those offenses, it's not that our streets are any less safe. It's in fact, but we have to deal with this as a police department. This is what we're dealing with in 2026, not so much when I started this job 37 years ago. And we've seen a 278% increase in firearms carry permit applications. What's that mean? We have residents here in town exercising their constitutional right to own guns. That many more residents want to carry guns today, and they have that right. Again, we're looking at COVID-19, right? We're using that as a starting point because it's just easy for us to remember. The average cost in the nation, right, of all things, driven by supply chain issues, high demand, inflation. Over the last 4 years, it's the highest rate of increases for cost, nearly 25%, and the police department is and will never be exempt from those increases. We also have to deal with more increases as far as what the Attorney General's office requires of our training. It's awesome. The training that's mandated today for our officers provides you that high level of service that you've gotten used to. But that's 225 patrol shifts where an officer has to get removed from their patrol to go take these mandatory classes, and again, that comes with a cost. I'll go through some of the day-to-day supplies that are needed, right? Computers, copy machines. I don't need to do it. It's up here. This will be on our website. Maybe we're giving a copy. If you want to open it, don't even bother calling me. I'll email it to you. I'm very proud of this presentation. But Jimmy, it's all these things that we have to buy, right? This comes out of our operating budget. Uniforms, ammo, guns, computer fees, software, licensing fees, modems and cell phones. That includes the modems in the police car so that the computers can operate. The Alcatraz supplies. We are responsible for the crossing guards. All their supplies that we have to get them comes out of the police department OE. Evidence management system, our mandatory fingerprinting system, and of course the mandatory training tools and classes I just spoke about. Some more recurring fees. We'll talk a little bit about that. Okay, go to the next slide. Some of our larger recurring fees, we have to do our body-worn camera redaction software, $4,600 a year. The Bergen County Prosecutor's Office, it's called the MARS system. Basically, that's when we can log into the county, the state, and the FBI's computer systems to run warrant checks, to run missing person checks, to enter missing people, enter stolen cars, etc. That's $8,000 a year. RMS system, $22,600. Email, just under $6,000. Our fingerprint machine, $3,300. Our mobile data and modem cellular bills, $11,703 a year. And then, of course, to maintain where we can monitor the cameras that are in this building, down in the DPW, down in Carlock and Matthews Field, that's another $8,000. And that's actually split up between the police department, recreation, and the DPW, so I only pay a portion of that. But that's the cost that comes out of the police department budget, is just under $8,000. You add up my recurring fees. I have a spreadsheet I can share. It's $134,114.35. I got $150,000 last year. Some comparables. You always like to hear, well, Rochelle Park's different than other towns. Sure. We have, a roster, we go up to 24 officers. We answer 17,480 calls, as I talked about. Salary wages budget, just under $3.3 million. My OE was $150. You can look at this. There's other departments. I'll find another one. We'll pick Emerson. They did 12,000 calls. Their OE, 254. Cost out, bigger department, 25 officers. You say, well, it's bigger, chief. They should have gotten 190. Sure, I answered just less than 1,000 calls, and they had a salary wages, by the way, $5 million. Maywood next door, they answered about 5,000 less calls than we did. He gets an operating budget of $202,700. Next slide. Upper Saddle River, Red Ranch, again, you do the math. There's nobody less than me. We'll talk a little bit about the revenue next. Turn to the slide, Jimmy. What's that mean? So the average of comparable like-sized departments is 23 officers. That's what we're currently staffed at. We have we can be up to 24. The average budget is 124. I was at 150. I'm asking for 170. Calls for service average is 13,450. So with 24 officers, we would have I know we have $33,124 less than the average while handling 4,034 calls. Talk a little about revenue. So we love to hear about the revenue side. I know CFO's not even copyright revenue. Police department, over the last 4 years, I've been chief, will be going on 6 years. Over the last 4, last year we wrote the most amount of tickets since about, gosh, it's on the next slide, but we wrote 5,381 tickets, the highest in 18 years. That brought in 220,000, just under 221,000 in court fines. That's the highest generated in at least 9 years. Here's some charts. You've got to follow the flow. The low point is obviously just before COVID. The second low point is definitely COVID. Next slide, Jimmy. That's tickets written on arrest date. Green will indicate revenue coming in. Again, you can see the low dip follows COVID, and then the last 2 years how we've increased on the way up. Another source of revenue for the police department are outside traffic duty. We have administrative fees as well as the flat fees for the use of police cars. You can see it there, I don't need to reread it, but it's $185,806.38 that this township received as a result of officers doing traffic. Since 2003, the township has received payments from the Garden State Platinum as per the agreements. Memorandum of understanding or memorandum of agreement, it specifically says there, this fee is intended to compensate the township for additional security, police, traffic, and other costs incurred, and shall be in lieu of any tax payment. Next. There's the check from this year, $179,142.95. It's adjusted every year for the consumer price index. It was about 172 and change last year. So that would have been counted for murder this year. Next. What does all that equal up to? Just under $600,000 worth of revenue. Okay, James. I'm asking for 170. We were at 160 in 2024. We went down 10,000. I didn't think it would have the impact it did. We had to do some budget transfers at the end of the year, cover some required doctor's visits and psychological exams for the SNAIL 3, as well as some costs of the department. So again, I'm asking for way less than that revenue amount. Mark, see, obviously, this is the taxpayer calculator that pretty much takes every source of revenue, all the municipal budgets, whether it's the school board, the county, breaks it down, Jimmy, and basically gives us what the cost is. So the cost for your police department, with me asking for the 170, and the salary wages up to 24th officer, including the 3rd lieutenant, backfilling those positions is cost the average taxpayer $1,225.64 per year, or just $3.36 per day. And again, this just reiterates it. You can zoom in on that box. Again, I'd be more than happy to share this with anybody. I do share it at every senior meeting I go to when I talk to the seniors so they understand where the tax dollars go. Next. All right, so again, thanking the mayor and committee. And at this time, any questions? I'm happy to ask or answer.
Thank you so much, Chief. Any questions?
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Great presentation. Thank you guys so much. Do you guys want to answer some questions from the public?
Sure.
Let's do it. Can I get a motion to open up to public comment?
Motion.
To the police presentation? Can I get a motion? Second. Wonderful. Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Peachy?
Yes.
Committeewoman George Carvello?
Yes.
Committeeman Smith?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Chouinski?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes. All right. Please state your name and the municipality that you're resigning for the record. You have 5 minutes and 1 speaking
I'm
opportunity.
not going to go that long. Linda, on case 33 Parkway. Dean, can you explain what the 17,000 calls entail?
Sure, everything from every ambulance call, fire call, park checks, motor vehicle stops, doesn't include lunch breaks, doesn't include bathroom breaks.
Is every call of that 17,000 a police officer being dispatched?
It accounts for,
Sometimes they're responding to headquarters, sometimes they're responding on scene, but it's a police officer.
it accounts for a police officer completing an assignment. So if they're out of service to remove a branch from the roadway, anytime that we document where they're at any given moment, that's what it's for.
I'm looking at this, you're showing 17 or whatever the amount.
Yes. So if you go to my monthly reports, they're there.
No, honestly, I give you the 185,000 as your operating.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Thank you again for the opportunity.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Can I get a motion to close public comment?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Peachy?
Yes.
Committeewoman George Carvello?
Yes.
Committeeman Smith?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Chouinski?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes. All right. Up next, is there any discussion from the Rochelle Park Township Committee? Any correspondence? Ms. Kim, please read into the record.
Okay. Yes, Mayor, I have one piece of correspondence here before you. I will read it into the record. Mayor Miller and members of the Rochelle Park Township Committee, the senior leadership of our township's emergency services, including Police Chief Dean Pinto, Fire Chief Charles Greco Jr., and Office of Emergency Management Coordinator Peter Donatello, recently had the opportunity to tour the Bergen County Public Safety Operations Center with you. The Township Committee is currently exploring shared services with the county regarding our communication center and dispatch operations. During our visit, we listened carefully to the county's presentation and get a clearer understanding to their limitations. As a unified group, we are writing to express our strong opposition to this potential transition. Our collective responsibility is to ensure the safety and well-being of our residents. We firmly believe that a move to Bergen County Communications jeopardizes the level of service and responsiveness our community currently relies upon. We respectfully ask the Township Committee to take into consideration our collective experience representing over 100 years of service in our respective fields when making a decision that will directly impact our ability to effectively serve and protect our community. Yours in service, and signed by Chief D. Pinto, Coordinator Pete Donatello, and Chief C. Greco Jr.
Thank you so much, Gina. Thank you for all the first responder stakeholders that weighed in on that letter. The Township Committee is always going to explore shared service opportunities for this municipality. We're always going to look into cost-saving opportunities for the taxpayers. That's our job, and that's what we were elected to do, and that's exactly what that meeting was, creating an opportunity for stakeholders to sit around and ask good questions. And I'm very proud of that meeting that we had because it was a great opportunity for our fire, our police, our OEM, DPW to all ask the questions of how would a county dispatch shared service operate in Rochelle Park. The director said that that was the most people he's ever seen from a municipality there at their headquarters. And so I'm very grateful for that meeting. I'm grateful for all the stakeholders that showed up, asked those great questions. And again, we're just in fact-finding, exploratory phase of looking into shared services across all of our services here in Rochelle Park. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? All right, thank you so much. All right, may I have a motion to approve the minutes of the following meetings? Closed session, March 11th. Work session, March 11th. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Apici?
Yes.
Committeewoman George Carvello?
Yes.
Committeeman Smith?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Chewinski?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes. All right. Approval of the agenda. Before we approve the agenda, can I have a motion to add Resolution 115-26, which is a motion to authorize a temporary shared parking agreement with ShopRite, also known as Glass Gardens, for overflow municipal parking use. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Hang on, can we hear what I don't know anything about this. Can somebody read the shared service agreement?
We do not have a...
We don't
It's
currently,
it's not actually a shared service.
it's not a shared service, it's
It's
just a shared agreement.
It's an agreement memorializing the fact that the municipality will be using parking spaces from ShopRite. They requested something in writing so they weren't going to be cited as a violation for letting us use it.
Okay.
There's no cost. So essentially, the resolution tonight approves the use of ShopRite's parking spaces on a temporary basis at no cost to the municipality.
I believe, isn't that twice a month that we're looking at?
Yes.
Samantha, right?
Yes, it's
Twice a
going to be twice a month with the opportunity for any events that we have in our parking lot to be the overflow there. So they've agreed to that when needed.
Great, thank you.
All right, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Apici?
Yes.
Committeewoman George Carvello? Committeeman Smith?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Chewinski?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes. All right, may I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Apici?
Yes.
Committeewoman George Carvello?
Yes.
Committeeman Smith?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Chouinski?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes. All right, reports. Administrator, would you like to begin?
Can you hear me okay? Okay, there we go. Good evening, everyone. We're going to be starting with, my report starts with the pump station project. This continues to be one of the top infrastructure priorities. We are actively pursuing funding and are currently applying for 3 different congressional grants to support the project. At the same time, Boswell Engineering is finalizing the design and will be providing options both with and without the David-Cram system, which gives us flexibility on depending on cost and operational needs. We anticipate that Boswell will have the specifications wrapped up this week, which will allow us to move forward with the requesting of bids. Next, we'll move on to the Burdane Street project. Construction is currently underway and concrete work is ongoing. Paving is planned for later in April, and that timing is intentional to allow the pipe trenches to properly settle, which helps ensure the long-term stability of the roadway. During construction, we did encounter an unexpected issue where one of the storm pipes was not located where it was originally mapped. While that's not uncommon with older infrastructure, we are taking the appropriate steps to investigate further, including video inspection, to determine the exact location and condition so we can make the proper repair. Despite this, the project continues to move forward and anticipating a completion in early May, with the contractual completion date was set for May 23rd. Next, I also want to add, I had the opportunity to participate in the regional NJDEP climate resiliency meeting on March 14th, along several neighboring municipalities, including Fairlawn, Saddlebrook, Glen Rock, and Ridgewood. The focus of the meeting was on the increasing flooding challenges impacting our region, particularly with the Saddlebrook watershed. There was a strong emphasis on the need for regional collaboration, as previous grant applications were less competitive due to limited coordination between municipalities. Moving forward, there is a coordinated effort to develop a more comprehensive multi-municipality application with Ridgewood potentially serving as the lead. Correct me if I'm wrong. Got it? Okay. There was also discussion around forming a long-term partnership to address stormwater management, including a potential creation of a stormwater utility. We will continue to participate in these regional efforts as we prepare for the next grant cycle, which should be released within the next several weeks. Next, we have also successfully submitted a letter of intent for the 2026 Bergen County Open Space Trust Fund grant. As a part of this application, we are proposing improvements to Carlock Field. These improvements include upgrades to the playground to make ADA compliant, possible installation of new lighting, exterior improvements to the field house, more secure fencing, and repairs to the retaining wall. Overall, we have requested $200,000 in grant funding to support these improvements. Lastly, we are also evaluating an opportunity to apply for funding through DCA for the Management Enhancement Review Program. This particular program allows municipalities to engage consultants to review operations and identify opportunities to improve efficiency, reduce costs, and explore shared services for municipalities. Again, I would like to thank the team for their support and assistance during my transition. I also want to thank the amazing residents that have stopped by my office to introduce themselves, for the warm welcome, and for the well wishes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam. Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. First thing up, recreation. Next meeting will be at Houghton Hall, April 7th at 7 p.m. Basketball was an incredible success. I want to say congratulations to the junior champs, the Lakers, and to the senior champs, the Heat. Thanks to all the volunteer coaches who sacrificed a lot of time, and to the police officers that were there. It was really great to see everybody. The Easter egg hunt will be March 28th at Carlock Field, 10:30 a.m. sharp. I would suggest you get there a few minutes early before all the eggs are gone. Rochelle Park Coaches Baseball Meeting will be this Friday from 6 to 8 at Houghton Hall, 7 to 8 for the parents of the players. so make sure you get there for that. Access for All, the next meeting will be April 15th at 7 p.m. at the Senior Center. April is Autism Awareness Month, so definitely just keep that in mind. The third annual Ice Cream Social to promote autism awareness will be April 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. at Houghton Hall in Carlock Field, so please show up for that. America 250, Jen and I, we had our meeting, what was it, a couple days ago? Monday. And the next meeting will be April 13th at 6 p.m. at the Senior Center. July 4th, it looks like, right now it's going to be at the American Legion. We're going to have our America 250 celebration. More events and stuff to come in the next few weeks. So, thank you.
Thank you, Committeeman Smith. Committeewoman Teresa Judge Covello.
Thank you. Okay, so the seniors tomorrow, March 26th at 1 p.m., they're having their meeting. It's baseball theme, and it is asked that it will wear some type of baseball item, hat, shirt, whatever you'd like. The library has a lot of activities happening, including kids' crafts, intro to journalism, and family bingo night, March 30th at 6:30 p.m. Okay, so the police, during the shortened month of February, their team answered 1,248 calls for service. Patrol division and detectives continue to demonstrate proactivity in seeking out criminal activity before it impacts our residents and stakeholders and keeping our small town safe. That extra effort and dedication is demonstrated by the 224 motor vehicle stops, 9 arrests, 21 criminal charges, 506 summonses issued in 1 month. Also in February, we had the police officers helping with the snowstorm at DPW, getting the people off the cars off the street, and basketball hoops off the roadway, and throwing snow in the street was it seemed to be another problem that was going on. The team continues to improve their training education, including Captain DeBretta attending BCPO, forfeiture training, OEM reorganization. Officer Detective Sergeant Shacking completing radar and pressure and forfeiture training. Detective Marcoon, DWI, managing DWI. Sergeant Galena, managing DWI, and resiliency peer support. And Police Officer Paul Hermishma, did I get that right? Hermishma. He completed his alcohol test, initiating training. And Lieutenant Kukowski also completed, instructed recruits in report writing at the BCPA, the entire department complete. They all completed their patrol rifle qualifications. And then there's, I believe there's also on here, our agenda, we're hiring a crossing guard. I believe, Chief, did we get that from being at the senior meeting? Was that the way, or was that the person that came from there?
Mayor?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
so that's one of the ways we reached out, correct, Commissioner, and then also the signboard. I just have one thing to add when you're done, if you don't mind.
Sure. I'm almost there. So the FIFA World Cup, what is he? It's okay. What's his name? I don't know. The FIFA World Cup and pop-up parties and large crowds that come with those by meeting others in public safety departments within and outside of the township. So the township has to also send our police officers to handle some of that situation with FIFA. And they hope to start a process soon to continue to provide, they are starting a process to continue to provide the highest level of service for the residents that they have been accustomed to. And did you want to add something, Chief?
Yeah, because I was asked by Mr. Howland, and you mentioned autism awareness, so I did touch base. Our Officer Ferrulli will be setting up an online store for apparel, police department apparel, that any profits made will be a donation to Autism Speaks. That hopefully will be up. Check our social media pages. Should be up within a couple of days or so.
Great.
And we'll be wearing our blue badges for the month.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I have for you.
Thank you so much, and happy birthday, Committeewoman Teresa Judge Covello.
Thank you.
Committeewoman Jennifer Piche, please.
Thank you. Good evening.
OEM update, the Rochelle Park Office of Emergency Management is expanding our ham radio Amateur Civil Emergency Service RACES program, with several major events ahead, including the upcoming World Cup FIFA, our nation's 250th anniversary celebrations, and hurricane and flood season. OEM is seeking FCC licensed amateur radio operators to assist with auxiliary emergency communications in the event traditional systems are compromised. These operators play a critical role in relaying communications between hospitals, emergency services, shelters, and other key locations during emergencies. Residents who are interested in volunteering with OEM or becoming FCC licensed are encouraged to contact the Office of Emergency Management at 201-587-7734. OEM has also recently hosted a countywide ICS G402 mandatory training for elected officials, school officials, and agency heads in Bergen County. There was approximately 40 attendees that participated in the training, which provided a better understanding of incident management during emergencies and outlined each official's role within the Emergency Operations Center. Additionally, OEM will be holding its local emergency planning flood committee meeting on Monday, March 30th at 7 p.m. in the OEM office next to the firehouse. Any residents interested in learning more about flooding are welcome to attend. Planning for the Township's annual flood residential flood awareness program will also be discussed. For the fire department, they responded to 33 calls in the month of February. There's a breakdown of the calls that I won't go through, but 2 in particular. On February 9th, they were dispatched to 13 Overlook Ave for a dumpster fire. The crews arrived on scene and stretched a hand line. No extension to either building. The buildings were checked with thermal cameras, no heat or fire detection. The dumpsters were placed on the side. To access the burning trash, the fire official was notified. On February 20th, they were dispatched to 9 Overlook Ave for a report of smoke and flames visible from the building. 3:30 arrived on scene, confirmed smoke showing from the eaves of the building. A working fire was transmitted, bringing mutual aid to the scene and for cover. Crews from E1 stretched a hand line into the front door and located a fire involving a paint spray booth exhaust system. The crew from T1 conducted a primary search of the building, which proved negative. T1 and E2 ascended to the roof and cut 2 holes into the roof for ventilation efforts. They established a water supply from the hydrant and dropped into E1. Once it was fully overhauled, the area was wet down for one more time as a precaution. The building was turned over to the fire official for his investigation. All units returned back without incident. So thank you to the fire department, as always, and that's all for me.
Thank you,
Thank
Jen.
you.
Deputy Mayor.
Just a question, where was that? Where was that building?
Overlook Ave.
Okay. Thank you.
So it's 2 of them in the same month for the same building, or same street. I'm sorry.
I can clarify that if you'd like.
Oh, there he
The
is.
dumpster was in front of the Domino's Pizza, 13 Overlook, and a couple weeks later was the White Auto Body, 9 Overlook.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Directly from the DPW. Vegetative waste will resume pickups on April 6, 2026. The DPW is still picking up tree branches if they are tied up in bundles or inside a trash barrel. They should be no longer than 5 feet in length and no more than 5 bundles per barrel per pickup. Please do not mix anything in with the branches. The DPW also had 3 calls for sewer backups. DPW also has started their spring cleanup at the town properties and will be prepping the baseball field for opening day. The project at Matthews Field, I could speak a little bit personally to this, but the project at Matthews Field is winding down, but the playground remains closed until the surface of the playground gets finished. They cannot finish the surface until temperatures stay sustained over 40 degrees for multiple days. Good luck. Temperatures have been wacky. With regards to the interior of the building is finished, is complete, it has heat. It had strip heating before, and now has a ductless mini split with 2 zones with air conditioning, which will be Wi-Fi controlled by, I guess you, Dave, You'll have control of that. The renovations came out great. They came out under budget, and hats off to former Administrator Dean Pinto for including that under a grant, so there's no cost, additional cost to the taxpayers. The exterior of the building includes new windows, doors repainted. The areas where the penetrations from the animals came in through the roof is now closed, will be closed this week permanently. It was temporarily closed with screening by the DPW in the past. Now it'll be permanently closed, and it'll look beautiful. It'll be aluminum, and the roofs on the dugouts are being done. The benches to the dugouts are there's a lot going on down there. It's nearing completion, and we are on target. We are under budget, and it's not costing us anything here at home. With regards to household hazardous waste collections, will be on Sunday, April 19th, 9 a.m. until 3 at the Bergen County Community College. Let's see. The next electronic pickup is on April 22nd. The Verdun Street project is moving along and should be finished by early May. The street sweeper has been in March for 35 hours, right?
In service.
In service in service, oh, you meant to say. Sorry, Dave. We have they also have started the biannual flushing of sewer mains. Sounds fun. We anticipate being done in April. What else do you got here? We have been working with the Shade Tree Commission to select locations for new plantings. Okay. From the school side, Junior Explorers Summer Camp is to be held in Maywood this summer and not in Rochelle Park at Midland School. There's going to be a shared service meeting coming up. Hasn't been designated a time yet, but there will be. And that's all I have.
Thank you so much, Matt. Appreciate it. All right. The Shade Tree Commission recently sent letters to residents on Lexington and Madison to inform them that 35 trees will be planted between the two streets beginning the second week of May. So we're excited to see those tree-lined streets beautify our town. It was an honor to welcome Governor Mikey Sherrill, Senator Joseph Lagana, and our Bergen County Commissioners to Rochelle Park earlier this month. State leaders met at Invictus Pharmacy to discuss proposed state legislation concerning prescription drug pricing, and we thank Invictus Pharmacy for graciously hosting that important conversation. I also want to recognize Boy Scout Troop 114 for hosting a wonderful spaghetti dinner fundraiser this past weekend. It was a great event that brought the community together in support of a great cause. So thank you to the Scouts and all the volunteers involved. And just to reiterate, I had the opportunity to visit the Public Safety Operations Center in Mahwah, along with Deputy Mayor Matt Chawinski, our Township Administrator Samantha Carpio, Chief Dean Pinto, Sergeant Galena, Sergeant Burke, Police Officer Monaco, Fire Chief Charlie Greco Jr., Battalion Chief and DPW Superintendent Dave Brown, and OEM Emergency Coordinator Pete Donatello. We were also joined by the best township clerk in the state of New Jersey, Gina Kim. The purpose of the visit was to explore what a shared service with the Bergen County Communications Center could possibly bring to our community, particularly in terms of enhanced technology, force multiplier capabilities, and potential cost savings. It was a very productive meeting where some of our first responders, as I mentioned, were able to offer their perspectives, ask questions, and we were all able to learn how the service could and would operate in Rochelle Park. And one of the officers said to me that they knew officers in other towns that switched to the county dispatch, and they never had a seat at the table. And that's why I'm ultimately so proud of that meeting, and that's why that this governing body will always be collaborative and always be transparent. This is something we're continuing to evaluate carefully, and we look forward to the ongoing conversations with the county as a whole regarding potential shared service opportunities for Rochelle Park. Anything from our clerk?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. April 8th is the party affiliation deadline, so if anybody would like to change over their parties or just register. April 8th is the deadline. April 18th, they're going to start mailing out the vote-by-mail ballots. Please be advised that in order to vote in the primary election, you do have to declare a party, so that's very important. Shredding event coming up here April 18th, 9 to 1 p.m., rain or shine. It's going to be in our municipal parking lot, so if you have any shredding waste to get rid of, April 18th is the day. Just want to end by saying happy birthday again, Committee Woman Judge Carvello. Thank you for joining us here on your actual birthday.
Thank you.
And congratulations again to Anita Novo and Diane.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Anything from our attorney?
Yes, well, just very briefly, with respect to the ongoing litigation with Topher, there has been no change from my last report, other than the fact that Topher's attorney is now filing voluminous Oprah requests, which will take up a significant amount of time, unfortunately, of our clerk and our staff, as well as my office. It seems like they're looking for a needle in a haystack that doesn't really exist, but they're entitled to the information. Unfortunately, when the Oprah law was recently amended, it did not provide any mechanism for a municipality to refute an Oprah request if it's a public document. So it doesn't matter how voluminous the request is, if it's seeking public documents and it's specific as to its request, the municipality has to comply. And since our clerk did bring up about early voting, I do want to put on my hat as a commissioner on the Board of Elections and encourage anyone who is voting by mail to, if you want to guarantee that your ballot gets there on time, use the drop boxes. The mail, especially even though you're allowed to mail and have it postmarked before the election, number one, if you're following the news, there may be a change in the law that states that a federal law, that if the mail-in ballot is not received by election day, it will not be counted. Whereas presently, it can be received as long as it's postmarked before election day. But in the past, we have received ballots that have been postmarked prior to the election day that came in after the deadline. So if you're going to use the mail, make sure you're mailing it at least 2 weeks before the election. But again, the most secure way is to put it in a drop box, which are picked up on a daily basis by a registered Republican and a registered Democrat. It's a team of 2 people. And we've never had an issue with the drop boxes, and it's the most secure way to guarantee that your ballot gets delivered.
Thank you, Mr. Scatino. All right. Any new business? All right. It's time for public comment. Can I get a motion to open up to public comment?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committee Woman Pucci?
Yes.
Committee Woman Judge Carvello?
Yes.
Committeeman Smith?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Chewinski?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes. All right. Public participation is now open. Please state your name and the town that you reside in for the record. You have 5 minutes, and you are limited to 1 speaking opportunity.
Yes, good evening, Walter Howard, 117 West Wall Street. April is Autism Awareness Month. Last year, we donated a flag, just seeing if we can have it hung for Autism Awareness Month. Also, last meeting, I asked about the violations for shoveling snow. Hopefully, we have that information. And is there a plan for someone who is disabled when there's major construction going on? It made me think about it, with all the work going on Verdun, that if the former people that lived in the house were still alive and lived there, they would not be able to get in and out of their home with the work that's going on. So do we have a plan in place for someone who is disabled to get in and out of their home without difficulty during this major construction?
Thank you, Walter. First, I'm going to address the flag. So we passed a resolution last year to raise the autism awareness flag for the month of April. So that will go up again. All the resolutions that we passed for the flags last year will go up. They do not require another resolution. In regards to ADA compliance, that would be a very interesting conversation to have with the engineer, the contractor, but also we now have an ADA compliant officer, our township administrator. So she will definitely follow up with you and this township committee on ways that we can make ADA compliance when there is construction. It's a great point, and I really appreciate you bringing that. In regards to snow removal, Don Warnett from Property Maintenance is here, so I invite Don if you want to come up and speak about snow removal. There was some questions and concerns regarding snow removal at the previous meeting, and Walter raised it again. Thank you, Walter. Yeah.
Just make sure the button's on the bottom, red light.
I believe it is.
There you go.
I don't know what those questions were, so.
Yeah, so basically, Walter brought up at the last meeting, and, obviously there was a lot of attention on this on social media, just there was a lack of snow removal on certain sidewalks across town, and people were very concerned about the hazard that could create, especially for our seniors, and they wanted to know what accountability is being implemented regarding that snow removal and the lack of snow removal by certain neighbors across the township.
There were 20 summonses that were issued for lack of snow removal. Some of them were first offenses, other ones were second offenses, which is considerably higher for the penalty. There were a number of residents on West Passaic Street that called me and expressed their frustration. I guess because it's a county road, they did not like the fact that an hour after they cleared the snow from the sidewalk, the county snowplows put it right back. They do not have a strip of grass between the curb and their sidewalk. Their sidewalk is right on the curb. So some said they weren't going to pay the summonses. I says, well, that's on you. I don't know what the courts are going to do if you don't pay it. I know there's penalties for not paying it. You're just going to accrue those until it does get paid. I will mention things to the township committee and to James as to what we may be able to do with the county, but I don't know how you stop the snowplow from removing the snow and end up on the people's sidewalks, unfortunately.
Thanks for sharing that. And Don, while you're here, what is property maintenance's process for when you do provide these citations? You provide a warning first, or because it's snow removal, do you immediately issue a summons? What is your process usually?
These particular offenses are an immediate summons, starting with the first offense, and if it happens again in another snowstorm or within a 10-day period they haven't cleared it, they get a second offense. And I believe it goes up to the fourth offense, and then they must appear in court before the judge and be further fined by the courts.
Thank you. Any questions from the Township Committee?
Yes, I think thank you for being here. I think one of the concerns that was expressed from the township was in that the one last large snowfall, one of the corners that we're talking about was at a dangerous intersection or a dangerous onlet from where ShopRite is by the stores. And it was very difficult to see around that pile coming out, and it was expressed once, twice, it was expressed several times about the removal, and I think it was brought up a few times. Is there anything we can do more proactively other than just wait for somebody to pay a fine for that, or can we implement Maybe that's some, again, back to the township. I don't know what we have on the books for that. Do we have something that we can implement our DPW with a backhoe, go there and remove that snow and back charge the commercial owners if they don't remove it? It's a safety hazard. It's a big safety issue. And also for the pedestrians walking across there. I mean, we have to be a little more proactive and be a little more than wait around for fines. And I think if we do have something, I don't know if we have something on the books. I'd like to know. I mean, maybe you can help us with that and look into that.
Ordinance for that.
What?
We probably would need an ordinance for that.
Well, maybe we have an ordinance in place, or I don't, sit in that department, I don't have a chance to read everything into that, but maybe, if we do have it, then we're remiss that we didn't exercise that ability. If we don't have it, then I think it's up to us to put something together and work with the building department and, work with property maintenance, put something in place.
That would be helpful to me in that particular situation. I personally almost got hit in the town car at that particular intersection, and I immediately at that point reached out to the property owner to get that pile removed. He assured me that he was going to, and as everybody saw, it didn't happen. And he was issued several summonses to have that removed, but naturally that didn't seem to work for him. And there was a bit of delay also in getting those mailed out to him. Apparently what I was using to put the address on the envelope was getting smeared by the time it got to the post office, and 3 of them ended up coming back to me undeliverable because they couldn't read the address.
Thank you, Don. Walter, yeah, it was West Oldest and Berdan?
Well, not only that, but the ADA ramps on the corners. Who's liable for that? The town, the homeowner? Because those are not being done.
Would you like to weigh in on that, Don?
That I believe is up to the homeowner or whoever's property it is.
Right.
If it's a business property, it'd be the business.
If I may, Mayor?
Yes.
According to 161-10, the township does have a right to put a tax lien if they have the DPW go remove the snow if someone refuses to do so or if it's an unsafe condition. So again, and we've done this with a couple of lawns here in town, as Don, you may recall.
Yes.
And it's been done before, so it can be done. But the sidewalks do remain the purview of the property owner. The adjacent property owner is responsible for the sidewalks, and if it has a ramp, it has a ramp. If it has a fire hydrant, the property owner is also responsible to clear out the fire hydrant.
Thank you, Chief.
Dean, as long as you're on that topic, that ordinance, who orders that? Who can place that order for them to remove the snow?
Typically through the business administrator, at the behest of the township committee. Actually, the township committee shall decide the course. But look, it's 161-10, so going forward, it is, if you want to make any change, I would look at that ordinance, read it, and see for next winter, maybe we can improve.
Thank you. Yes, hopefully no more storms.
So,
Your lips to God's ears.
Anybody else? Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Warnett.
You're welcome.
I have a question about this. Bar Grass now, Peak Street. As I've said many times, it's flooding on the corner of Peak Street, which, when it snows, the owner of the property shovels, the snow melts through and it freezes. So now, who's responsible for the ice?
The property owner.
How could the property owner be responsible when the town refuses to fix the flooding problem? You're saying now the owner is responsible for the flooding?
I'm reiterating what the chief just said, that if the ADA ramp has ice on it, or the sidewalk has ice on it, then it is up to the property owner to...
You can't fix it. The property owner can't do anything. You can clean it, and then the next day it's flooded again. The man goes to work, he doesn't stand there watching it flood. I mean, you can smile, but it's not funny. If somebody falls on that, it's his fault, and it's the town's fault, it floods. And shake your head.
No, I'm listening to you. You're a concerned resident. I'm listening to your concerns.
Speaking that for 3 years. Now there's nothing about the flood.
I think that's I think, excuse me.
No, somebody's gonna get hurt.
The elevations of the road are so bad in this town, that to do that, you have to first.
Can you stop that, please?
Yes. Folks, I just want to redirect this. Committeewoman Teresa Judge-Cavell would love to respond to you at this
Ms.
time.
Monfils is right with the elevations, but that's also a county road that you're talking about there too. That's where the other part of it comes in.
The county road.
Are you talking about where the ramp is?
Yes,
Okay, so that goes right onto the county road and crosses across, right?
so, but you're saying now the owner of the property is responsible.
Well, the owner, you know,
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna,
give him a ticket for flooding there when it freezes?
yeah, but that's what I'm saying, the flooding is, are you talking about it being in the street, correct?
No, I'm talking about the sidewalk. It floods all the way up, almost to his edges.
Okay.
Thank you. I do see that Mr. Dave Brown is here, our superintendent of DPW. He could possibly weigh in and also further address this.
Address what? I've been talking about this for years, and I've been told nothing's gonna get done, repeatedly.
It's County Road. We're working on,
Somebody hits
I
her.
said it.
You're gonna sue the owner of the property, and it's not his fault.
I haven't heard any dialogue about lawsuits, but I do appreciate your time and I do appreciate you bringing this
I'm talking
concern.
about- well, don't say you never heard, okay? Well, then pay attention.
I'm referring to this public comment that you're bringing towards us right now.
Well, how many times have I, when you were,
It's
did
been
I
fl-
stand here?
Did I just say something?
Folks, let's move our public comment forward. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time and concerns. No, I never said that. You're never a bother. I really appreciate it.
Why not?
How you doing, Dominic Susquehanna? I think going to the county meeting and discussing that with the address would be one of the best things, because it is their road.
Yes, I'm talking about the sidewalk. I'm not talking about the street. I'm talking about the sidewalk.
The handicap.
Thank you, Mr. Pizzuto. Anybody else?
Sorry. Say it on the sidewalk,
Bob Hassel, 40 Park Place. Mr. Mayor, is this the time to ask the code enforcement officer other questions, not regarding snow or flooding?
Listen, he's right there. Are you open to taking a few questions?
If I have the answer, yes.
This is the first time in nearly 50 years that I've ever seen a code enforcement officer. And I've religiously never missed a planning board or land use board or zoning board meeting in years. I believe by town statute, he's supposed to be at those meetings. In any event, I have a question. Seeing that the town council is considering issues on Oak Street and screening issues, particularly these two issues haven't been addressed since I made an observation previously to you, the building department in September of 2023. There's a property at 63 Oak Street where there's a improperly parked RV in the front yard of the house, but unfortunately, the front yard of the house is a town easement which goes to the railroad tracks. So this particular RV is improperly parked on town property, and it's been there for decades. I just wanted to know what enforcement activities you can take to make sure that this thing is moved off of town property, or if the town eventually is going to be compensated for the use of the property by the homeowner and RV owner. This is through town statute 185-103G. The vehicle is longer than 28 feet. It's parked in front of the house. There is no required screening as per statute for screening RVs that are in your backyard. It's not on the person's property, so it's not a 5-foot side setback in compliance of that. You're not allowed to park it there to begin with unless the property is owned by the RV owner or lawful tenant. And the penalties are $250 for the first offense and $500 for each subsequent offense. Once again, I just want to remind you that I made the building department aware of this flagrant violation in September 2023. Mr. Di Maria at the time said he was aware of this problem, and that's as far as it went. So I can understand residents' frustrations with issues like this because they just go on and never seem to be resolved for some reason. And I don't know what those reasons are. But in this particular case, this gentleman may be new to his job, and this might be the first time he's hearing about it. But I hope that things can be done about this in the future. And can I go? I don't know if I'm near my 5 minutes.
You got 2 minutes left.
Cool. You all get Viola water. You notice on your bill, suddenly it seemed to go up about a year and a half ago. Well, it jumped up like $10. Did you read the fine print and the things you're being charged for? Well, we moved into town in 1977 here. My water main broke. I called Viola, at the time Hackensack Water Company. I said, do you take care of this, being a new homeowner, young fella, back when we were young, so. They said, no, it's on my side of the curb box and it's my job to fix. They called the contractors, it came $800 later, I got a new copper line, it's been flawless forever. About a year and a half ago, I started to get notices from Viola that they're going to come and replace my lead line service. I wrote back to them and I said, mine was changed in '77. You didn't pay me for it then. What do you want to know now for? Needless to say, you're all being charged an additional, depending on your rate per month, $5 or $6 a month for lead line replacement, which you may already have your lead line replaced that you paid for. But if you investigate through the Board of Public Utilities, a modern plumber will change your lead line for between $3,000 to $5,000. In Orange County, the typical, they call it a 209 box. Unfortunately, Veolia has figured out a way to charge the BPU and amortize the cost at $10,000 per line, and that's where they're basing your $5 or $6 a month on for all their people. So just look into that. Thank you very much. I hope I gave you something you can rectify. And thanks for the opportunity, Mr. Miller. I don't come to these meetings much.
We'd love to see you more often.
No, you don't want me here. You don't want me here.
Thank you, Mr. Verhassel.
Thank you very much, sir.
Do I have a chance to answer?
Please.
that?
Oh,
My understanding was that particular RV in the driveway matter had been resolved. Previous township committee people, there's a resolution on file in that block and lot giving that gentleman permission to park that RV where it's parked.
how much rent are we going to collect from this?
We're going to look into that.
Moving forward, I don't know about what past resolutions were passed because Mr. Di Maria could not find that and was aware of a search that was done. There was nothing accomplished.
Thank you for bringing that forward. We're going to look into that with our township attorney. We really appreciate it.
That's great.
I personally got a copy of that
Okay, you can
document and I put it in the block and lot folder, so I know it's there.
Wonderful. If you could send that to me and I'll forward it to the township attorney, that would be very, very helpful.
Certainly.
Thank you so much.
First thing tomorrow.
Beautiful. I really appreciate it. Anybody else?
You know you weren't getting away with me. Linda Boniface, 33 Parkway. It's nice to see women recognized in Women's History Month. I remember when the suffrage was 100th anniversary, we lit up the gazebo purple and recognized that year. Again, it's budget time. I'd like to remind everybody, meaning the Township Committee, the residents, and the employees, we live and work in a mile-square town. We cannot compete with the bigger towns or cities on any level. And maybe I have a better insight into this after sitting on the Township Committee for 6 years. Actually, I started attending meetings in 2015 on a regular basis, before filming or recording was taking place. I started looking at the township budgets back then. Actually, Lynn Houghton showed me them. See, I came here because I didn't want my tax dollars being spent on something that I thought should have been funded privately. And a lot of residents felt the same way. We don't get the government aid other municipalities and townships get. We don't even get grant money at level the bigger townships get. Look at what Garfield got in their school funding, and that's enough to tell you. There was talk of merging municipalities between 5,000 and 10,000 residents into surrounding towns. We fall in that category. The majority of the tax burden is on the residents. We talked to a lot of residents recently about the reevaluation, mostly seniors, and they don't have much to say, but they say, my taxes are frozen, but mine aren't yet. And a lot of people don't truly understand the budget. As long as I pay a tax bill, I'm going to have something to say. Until cannabis, there was really no new revenue source in Rochelle Park. Development wasn't bringing it in. I warned everybody at the time, high cannabis revenue is not going to last. And they didn't listen. I also advised to designate the cannabis money in percentages to different things. That was ignored. Instead, the budget was exploded. Due to cannabis revenue, building department revenue, Chief points out, there's a 20% markup when an officer is used. That brings in a lot of money. I think one year was 200,000 or something. Instead, the budget exploded. I don't think people really know what a township budget pays for. It's salaries, it's benefits, it's vacations, it's holidays, 14 to be exact. Pension obligations, contractual obligations. Yes, the residents are required through their tax bill to pay towards pensions of everybody retired from the township. Read the township audit. When I tried to explain this to other township committee members, they had no idea what I was talking about. See, I knew this because I worked under a collective bargaining agreement. And pension obligation was a big sticking point in the negotiations. In the budget, there's a very big payment to the Hardin County Utilities Authority for a sewer fee. Try to conserve water in your house. The only way they know how to bill us is by the amount of water that's used. And we worked on getting extra costs out of people who were abusing, businesses and residents who were abusing water for the sewer. We pay, just like you have homeowners insurance, the township has insurance. We make a payment on all the fire hydrants in town. Talk about the lead. That surcharge is paying for all the lead in the state of New Jersey, all the lead changeovers in the state of New Jersey. It's in the thousands of dollars. I don't know the number. I remember it back, it was 57,000. It's most likely gone up. Water, electric, all of the stuff you pay for in your house, we pay for in the municipality at a bigger level. Operating expenses. That's where I find a lot of pork. Things that are required under operating expenses, okay. Chief put them up. You know, just to run a computer program, you got to pay for it to happen that year. The things I see unnecessary, phones, jackets, computers, vehicles. We have a lot of vehicles in town. Mailings that are repeated over the course of a year. Double check things. Again, I want to remind you we are a mile square town. This is in New York City. 99% of the thing, we're not going to be on Channel 7 in a press conference. Yeah, we were all over the news with this shooting. Think wisely. I welcome Samantha here. Because you know why? She's not from Rochelle Park, and she's not from Bergen County. Hopefully, she'll get tired of hearing, well, this is the way it always was. I hope Samantha can say, I think we can do it better this way. The administrator runs the day-to-day operations of the township, not the police chief. He only sees his department. Nobody went after Dean more than me, and he knows that. But I'm happy to see Dean back as our full-time police chief. This is not the Rochelle Park of the 60s, the 70s, and 80s, and it never will be. Nothing's going to be the way it used to be. I welcome the change because Rochelle Park is stuck in Rochelle Park while everybody else moves forward. Just a couple other things.
If you don't mind, just,
I might,
yeah, but if you want to just wrap up your comments.
it's a little bit. Okay. Grants. Don't ever refuse the DOT grants. And the reason why the roads are a mess is because the infrastructure work was terrible here. They mill and pave the side, not mill the top, so it was a crown. Never say never when it comes to flooding. Never. We're hearing that for too long. There's a movement right now in Bergen County, and you're embracing it, and I'm happy for that. A priority right now to be getting that pump station built. And I know we're waiting for grants, but sometimes you can't. You just have to do it. It's built in the early 60s. And I know that because the pool opened in August of 64, and we were members of the pool in the very beginning, and I always remember looking at the plaque, and it's saying 64 because I was born in 64. So that pump station was probably built in 62 or 63. So I'm 61, so it's older than that. And as long as I live in this town, and a lot of you know I'm leaving, I am eventually, but try to empty a house that's had 10 people living in since 1959. It's not as easy as you think. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anybody else?
Hi, Mike Warren, 181 West Golden Street. I sat there facing a similar situation with the shared service, and that was the ambulance corps. Received a lot of the same pressure you're probably receiving from the interested parties that are in the audience, writing you letters. Just want to point out that I don't sit up there anymore. There's probably a lot of reasons for that, but I think I'm better off doing a lot more than I could have done up there. But I wanted to say a couple names. Mike Casimir, Gail Artola, Karen Mosca, Susan Yakabuchi, Jenna Piche, Vincent Bissetti. Never went back to the local volunteer ambulance corps. And they had plenty of opportunity to do it. And I guess if you ask them why, you could ask Dean why, Bob Davidson why, some guy named Jack Turnune, because it saved the town a lot of money. And almost 10 years later, no one in town can tell the difference. So you have a lot of pressure up there, I get it. But someone tell me why you guys didn't go back to the local ambulance volunteer corps that we're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a year.
Thank you. Anybody else? Hearing or seeing nobody, do I have a motion to close public comment?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Peachy?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Covello?
Yes.
Committeeman Smith?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Chouinski?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes. All right. Just want to say thank you for everybody that spoke up tonight. Public comments, my favorite part of a township meeting, and it's not easy to get on the mic, so I really appreciate everybody that came up. You all make us more accountable and better leaders, and I thank you for that. All right, let's introduce some ordinances. But before we do that, we previously tabled ordinance number 1264-26. So can I have a motion to untable ordinance 1264-26, amendment of chapter 150A, property rental?
Motion.
I'd like, can we have a discussion on that first?
Sure.
I think we should keep it tabled until we have our next land use board meeting. And the reason is our land use board attorney is looking into some additional items on this for us, for the township as a whole. I think, that's my message back from the land use. that would be my, unless we pass an ordinance and we can amend it,
Well, I guess
That's up
after
to
we,
your judges,
yeah,
right?
after we introduce it, we would adopt it at the following meeting.
So it could be within that 42.
But we could amend the ordinance after we
Yes.
introduce it?
Yes.
Yes, you just have to re-advertise it.
Yes, you're allowed to.
So do you want to go forward and amend anything?
So it's just introduction, I'm sorry, it's just introduction.
Yep.
I mean, you amend it after that.
So we could, we could absolutely add to this. This was taken from another municipality, and really basically it says that short-term rentals have to be at least 6 months. And also it addresses the concern that Committeeman Sean Smith brought up at the last meeting, which is what do you do with tenants that are living month to month? You have to serve at least a 6-month lease before you can go month to month. Do I have that correct?
Yes. We don't have that. We don't have that currently?
We didn't have that currently, and we didn't have that in the last one that we introduced. So that was an improvement that we have in the one that we're going to introduce tonight.
So I digress. Let's untable it, and if we have to, we can amend it.
Okay, great.
So we get it on.
Just to clarify, John, after we introduce it, there's an amendment, it has to be considered de minimis in order to not, but if it's a significant change, we would have to re-advertise, correct?
Yep.
So if we're making significant amendments, just be aware that we will have to re-advertise.
It's significant changing it from 6 months to a year?
Yes. Any change in the time period would be significant. What's considered de minimis is, maybe a grammar mistake or, really more of a correction.
Typographical.
Yeah, yes. Anything of, that would be significant, changing the time period.
You're changing the intent of it.
I can't hear.
If we could just keep our voices down in the back, just so I can hear the Township Committee. All right, so what are our thoughts? Do we want to untable this and introduce?
I think that, I believe if because I can't read a crystal ball, I think that what you're saying, I understand that, but just to introduce it right now, and if the land use says it would be okay to do, then we can re-advertise. That's the way I look at it, but we need to get this on the books because we had a very big issue with this.
We're open right now for short-term rentals if we don't do something.
And we have that FIFA, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
correct, yeah, so time is of the essence, yeah.
I also think the initial 6 months, if you have a 6-month lease, I think that gets rid of the issue that could happen. It won't go month to month after, because I think that initial 6 months, you have a relationship with the landlord, and it's not going to be just short-term rental.
Right.
So I think that kind of does clean it up, but
So I'd rather see this happen right now, so we can try to push it if we need to, get that FIFA and everybody else wants to rent, that's just my opinion.
Okay. Fine.
It's up to you, but you know.
No, let's untable it. Untable
All
it.
right.
We'll vote on it. Go ahead.
So a motion on table, please.
Do I have a second?
second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Apici?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Carvello?
Yes.
Committeeman Smith?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Chouinski?
Yes.
And Mayor Miller?
Yes. Thank you so much. Okay, so now the next item is the introduction of ordinance number 1264-26, titled An Ordinance to Amend Chapter 150A Property Rental of the Township Code. This ordinance establishes a minimum rental term of 6 months for residential properties in the township. May I have a motion to introduce ordinance number 1264-26?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Apici?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Carvello?
Yes.
Committeeman Smith?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Chouinski?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes, the ordinance is introduced. Thank you. Our next item is the introduction of ordinance number 1265-26, entitled Bond Ordinance for Road and Drainage Improvements to Hoffman Avenue. This ordinance appropriates $475,000 and authorizes bonds or notes to the finance project. May I have a motion to introduce ordinance number 1265-26?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Apici?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Carvello?
Yes.
Committeeman Smith?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Chouinski?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes, the ordinance is introduced. Please.
Notice is hereby given that ordinances 1264-26 and 1265 were introduced and passed on first reading at a meeting of the Township Committee of Rochelle Park held today, March 25th, and ordered published in accordance with the law. Said ordinances will be considered for final reading and adoption at a meeting held on April 8th and April 22nd at 7 p.m. in the Township of Rochelle Park Municipal Building, at which time all persons interested will be given an opportunity to be heard concerning such ordinance. So just to clarify, ordinance 1264-26 will be considered for adoption on April 8th. And the bond ordinance, we have to have a little bit of more time before we can adopt. That adoption will take place on April 22nd.
Thank you so much. We have 3 ordinances for adoption this evening. Ordinance number 1261-26, land use lighting regulations. Ordinance number 1262-26, tree removal and replacement. Ordinance number 1263-26, stormwater/dumpster regulations. May I have a motion to open this to public for any questions regarding these ordinances?
Motion?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Peachy?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Covello?
Yes.
Committeeman Smith?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Chewins?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes. Public hearing is now open. Please state your name and address for the record. Hearing or seeing no one, may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Peachy?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Covello?
Yes.
Committeeman Smith?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Chewinski?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes. All right. Ordinance number 1261-26, land use lighting regulations. Do I have a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second?
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Peachy?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Covello?
Yes.
Committeeman Smith?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Chewinski?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes. Ordinance number 1262-26, may I have a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Peachy?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Covello?
Yes.
Committeeman Smith?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Chewinski?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes. Ordinance number 1263-26, may I have a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Peachy?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Covello?
Yes.
Committeeman Smith?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Chewinski?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes. Thank you so much. All items listed on the consent agenda are considered routine and non-controversial and will be approved by one motion unless a committee member or citizen requests otherwise. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion.
Do I have a second? Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Peachy?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Covello?
Yes.
Committeeman Smith?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Chewinski?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes. All right. Thank you so much. The next township meeting will be held on Wednesday, April 8th at 7 p.m. May I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much. Thank you and good night.